For a company that started off with physical media, Netflix, they started off sending us DVDs in the mail. They started with Blu-rays. They eventually got to 4Ks, I believe. And for a studio or a company that loved and focused on physical media so much, the disdain that Netflix shows now for the physical media formats is astounding. And the idea that Netflix is going to acquire Warner Bros for $82.7 billion is apocalyptic, to say the least. It is outrageous. It is insane. So let's dive in and let's jump in and see what this means for physical media and for theatrical movies going forward. I don't normally like to be the kind of person that screams running around like a chicken with its head cut off about certain news items, but the Netflix acquisition of Warner Bros. That was just announced either early last night or this morning for about $82.7 billion is one of the most apocalyptic things to happen to the theatrical business and to the physical media business that we all know and love. So what does this mean? That's what a lot of people are asking. What does it mean that Netflix is buying Warner Bros. And HBO in this gigantic deal that hopefully will get struck down by the Department of Justice as being antitrust, because it is creating a monopoly in the entertainment industry. Anyone buying Warner Bros. At this point would be bad. It would be bad for creativity, it would be bad for art, it would be bad for competition, because all of these billion-dollar corporations merging into one corporation basically takes away our options as a consumer. And in the physical media sphere, that's the same thing. It takes away our options because, well, Netflix doesn't give us any options, and Warner Brothers gives us options with plenty of great releases like Sinners and like the Nightmare on Elm Street 4K box set you can see behind me. But it takes away that option because do you really think that Netflix, who doesn't release anything that's of their first-party titles out on physical media, that they're going to do it with Warner Brothers now that they're just saying they're going to, or that they're going to put movies in theaters, which is a whole different thing for theatrical distribution. Netflix, their big deal is, oh, well, we enjoy putting things out in theaters, but we don't like the exclusive window. We want to put it on our platform. Well, the problem with that is that the magic of movies is sitting in a movie theater with a bunch of people and watching it together. And I know there's a lot of people out there that are going, oh, well, but theater etiquette sucks. People talk, they're on their phones. But I know that, I understand that. I hate it just as much as you do. But going to a movie and experience something that needs to be experienced with a crowd of people. If you go and watch a horror movie in theaters, or you go and watch a movie like Sinners that is so triumphant and makes you feel so emotional about what's going on screen, and you're doing that at home or on your phone, it's just not the right way to watch movies. And that's why we emulate it at home. That's why I have a gigantic 4K screen and a big, gigantic thumping surround sound system, because you want to emulate that experience. And this deal takes that away. Netflix is lying through their teeth when they say they want to support theatrical distribution. I've talked to theater owners. I go to CinemaCon and I've talked to them, and they all hate Netflix. They hate them. They despise them because they're trying to put them out of business. And this deal, for us that are watching this, for you that's watching this with physical media in mind, it's catastrophic. It is. It really is. It's catastrophic because Netflix, the reason why they don't put things out on physical media is not because they hate physical media or they hate money or whatever. They love money. Netflix loves money more than anything on the planet Earth. They love money more than art, more than people, more than anyone. The people who make the movies are a means to end to get that money, and they do it because they don't want to pay residual fees. They don't want to pay residuals, but if a Netflix movie aired on TNT, they would have to pay residuals. If a Netflix movie was on 4K, they would have to pay residuals. The only reason why they put movies on 4K and Blu-ray is if the filmmaker pushes for it, like Guillermo del Toro is doing for Frankenstein. That's it. They don't do it otherwise. We don't have Extraction 1 and 2 4K. We don't have Stranger Things Season 3 to 5 on 4K or Blu-ray. We don't have Red Notice or whatever the hell the stupid movie is with Dwayne Johnson and Gal Gadot and Ryan Reynolds. We don't have any of their big series out on physical media because they don't want to pay the residual fee. That's the truth. That's the long, the hard, and the truth of it. So what's going to stop them? And they're going to keep saying in the press, oh, we're not changing anything about HBO, or we're not changing anything about Warner Brothers. We just want their library. The other thing about Netflix is that they don't care about the physical preservation, the history of film. What does Warner Brothers have in their, like, vaults and everything? They have physical proof, physical love of film and TV that they've done, and that's probably all going to get auctioned off as well, because what's the point of holding on to all of this for Netflix? So Paramount buying Warner Brothers would be bad. That would be very bad. Or Universal or anyone else buying Warner Brothers would be bad. In a perfect world, Warner Brothers wouldn't be for sale because they just had their best theatrical year in years, and they're making great releases and putting out great movies, and HBO is on fire. But in the world of streaming, and I know it comes back to with a physical media versus streaming debate here, and that's not even what I'm trying to get at, is with streaming in 2020, because of COVID, we all got comfortable with the idea of streaming movies, streaming whatever. And so these companies decided, let's go big into this. Streaming makes them no money. Streaming is a net negative for all of them, and they're all hiding it. Disney Plus makes no money. HBO Max makes no money. And you know what made money? Theatrical distribution. Physical media. Those things make money, but they're so far into the streaming thing that their shareholders would not be very happy if they were to be revealed that these gigantic things that they are saying they're printing money on are not actually printing money. So this news is disheartening for multiple reasons. I love going to movie theaters. I love physical media, obviously. You can see it behind me. And this deal hopefully does not make it through. Hopefully the Department of Justice or whoever steps in, which would probably mean that Paramount would buy Warner Brothers after that, which would also suck, but movies would still go to theaters and we would still probably get physical media releases. I have no idea what this means for any of the deals that Warner Brothers has with various boutique labels like Arrow Video. I have no idea what this means. Hopefully the deals get held up and Arrow Video gets their titles, and then after that we figure it out. I don't know. But yeah, it's disheartening. So what do you think of Netflix buying Warner Brothers for $82.7 billion? Let me know in the comments. I love hearing what people have to think. Am I overreacting? Tell me if I'm overreacting. If I'm overreacting, I will accept that, but I work in the entertainment industry. I know how these things work, and this feels really bad on multiple levels that Netflix is buying one of the most storied and historical movie studios we've ever had in Hollywood. So let me know in the comments. Let me know what you guys think, and make sure to like, comment, and subscribe, and do all that YouTube stuff. It really helps me out. Make sure to hype the video as well. It's a new YouTube feature that helps other people see the video so that more people can see my stuff, and that's always great, isn't it? So yeah, that's it. Netflix is buying Warner Brothers.